Hello and welcome to the Atlas Cloud training video. In this video we will be covering the following: general administration of the system, downloading your registered candidates, how to set up an exam or courseware, how to reset a candidate's password, and take a quick look at the system from your candidate's view. Let's get started. The Atlas Cloud system can be found at www.ecdluk.nlight.net, and when you load this website you'll be shown this login page. Here you'll be able to log in with your username and password, which you will be given soon after viewing this training. Please keep these credentials safe. Under no circumstances must anyone other than yourself log in with your credentials. If you need someone else to log into the system, you'll need to talk to your centre manager and get them registered with BCS as a member of staff. Please note that both fields are case sensitive, so take care when entering your credentials. Before we log in, let's take a look at the other options on this page. We have three options. The first is the Reset Password link. This will work for anyone who has an email address attached to their account. If you find this does not send a password link to your email, please contact us and we will sort out your password and attach an email to your account, just in case you need to reset again in the future. The second link, self-registration, is unused with BCS courses, so you will not need to use this link. The third link is the Check System Requirements. This will run a system check and give you a good idea if the system is set up correctly to run the Atlas Cloud system. However, this does not check everything required for all the exams. We do recommend you look at the BCS Systems Requirements checklist found on the Approved Centre forum to ensure everything is set up correctly before you test. So this is everything on the login page. Let's log in and look at the next screen. The first page you'll come across on Atlas Cloud is the news page. This is updated by nLight and will give you important updates about upgrades to the system and possible maintenance windows with the system. If the system isn't running correctly, check here to see if nLight are aware of the issue before contacting BCS. Now let's go into the Atlas Cloud system. Click on the green arrow to continue. This is the Atlas Cloud system. On the left-hand side you have the Centre Number folder. If you click on the arrow beside this, you will open up the subfolders of your centre. Original setup of these folders are as follows. Admin Main. This is where your centre manager and administrators will be located. Sub-admin. This is only used for very large centres who have 2 layers of admins, but this is rarely used. Candidates. This is where all your learners will reside. Usually more folders are created under this level for either classes or groups of learners for easier management. We'll go into more detail later. Invigilators. If you are an invigilator, you will be in this folder. Invigilators have less access than admin, but can still create invigilator keys and update candidates' passwords. To help manage your candidates, you may place them into folders. These folders are known as groups and are a handy way of putting candidates into groups or class lists. Let's make a group now. Click on the candidate folder, then go to Organisation, Create, Add Group. This will create the group. On the main page, you can give information about this folder. You are required to at least give it a name and then click Save. You will now see this folder on the left-hand side. You can easily drag and drop users and other groups into this group folder. The last thing that may be helpful for you as an admin is the reporting drop-down in ET2. Here you can pull all sorts of reports on your candidates, including results and user reports. If you are a new centre and have just registered your candidates on the Approved Centre forum, you will need to download your candidates to the candidate folder. To do this, click on the folder, then on the right screen, click on the Members tab. Then click on BCS Download This will then take you to the download screen. Select the course your candidates are taking and click Download All Candidates. Give the system a minute to load and all your candidates will appear in the folder. Note, doing this sets up their username and password for them. By default, the username is their BCS ID and their first-time password is your B0 center number. They will be asked to update their password on first login. Next, we'll look at assigning exams to students. For students to take an exam, you'll need to do two things. First, set the assignment for a student, and then assign a credit. To set the assignment, click on the candidate and go to the Assignments tab. Scroll down and you'll see lists of courseware, exams and diagnostics, all under different drop-down menus under tabs. So, as an example, let's set the BCS Level 2 Schools Improving Productivity. To set it, click on the first tick box by the assignment. It's important to note here, if you are a school delivering the ECDL in IT Application Skills qualification, you must select the BCS Level 2 Schools Improving Productivity exam. Please take extra care to check for the word School in the title, as this is the only version of the Improving Productivity module exam that will count towards the school's qualification. Once the assignment is assigned to the candidate, you will need to allocate them a credit to take the assignment. Credits are purchased in the Approve Centre forum, and they will be added to your Atlas Cloud account within 48 hours. These will always be added to the top layer of your system within your centre number. So let's go and find our purchase credits. If you click on your centre number and then click on Balance, you will see your available credits. Depending on what you have purchased, depends on what credits you will have. The most common credits are IECDL Certs and IECDL Diag Standards. But you may also have other credits, and they will appear here 2 working days after purchase. To use credits, they need to be allocated to your candidates, so let's do that now. To allocate a credit to a candidate, you need to allocate it from the top layer. Depending on if you want to allocate to a candidate direct or allocate to a group of candidates, there are 2 different ways of doing it. To allocate to a single candidate, click on the candidate, then go to the Balance tab. Here you need to find the type of credit you want to allocate. For this example, let's assign a IECDL Cert Standard credit. To do this, find the IECDL Cert Standard and click on the Advanced button next to the credit type. You will then be taken to the Allocate screen. Here you can allocate and deallocate credits. For this demo, we need to allocate the credits, so under Allocate, place the number of credits into the first box. Please make sure that you use 1 credit at a time, so students don't end up using credits on the wrong exams. In the From field, we select the top layer where your credits reside, your centre number, then click Allocate. If you click back, you will now see the credits allocated to that student. Now let's do this again, but this time we want to allocate a credit to a group of students. So this time we do it at the folder level. So for example, we've got a folder here of BCS Group. We'll click on the folder and then go to the Balance tab. We can see we have 5 candidates in this folder, so we'd want to allocate 5 credits to this folder, then trickle these down to the 5 candidates themselves. So to do this, we go to the Allocate part again. Put in 5, select From your centre, and click Allocate. You can now see at the top we have 5 credits in this folder, and we can allocate these out to the student below. To do this, we look at the Allocate to a minimum. This allocates the credits out to a minimum of whatever number you enter to the students below. So we want all 5 candidates to have 1 each. So we type 1 in the box and click allocate to a minimum. Notice now the folder has no credits, but if we click on a candidate and go to their Balance tab, you will see that they now have 1 credit assigned. With the assignment set and the credit assigned, your students are now ready to test. For your candidates to take an exam, they will be required to use an invigilator key. This has to be created by the invigilator who is invigilating the test. To do this, you click on Organisation, then Manage Invigilator Keys. This will pop up with a window and show a list of keys if you have any. We've not created any at the moment, so let us create one now. Click on Create. On this screen, you will need to fill out the following information. Start date. Here you'll need to enter the date, a space, then the time in 24-hour format. Be sure to use a colon between the time here. Next is the duration of the test. Most tests are 45 minutes or 1 hour. We recommend giving yourself an extra 30 minutes on top of the time for the exam for any issues with setting up. This is the limit to the time that your candidates will be able to log on to the test. So we are going to select 1:30 for an hour and a half of time here. The number of tests are the maximum amount of tests that you can unlock with this key. We set this to 1. This stops candidates unlocking more than 1 test at a time. Check the Hide Results button to hide results from the candidates once they complete. Now you set the module. The word processing, spreadsheets, presentations can be found under Level 1 here, but for Level 2 it's the ECDL, ICDL syllabus, English, and then you select the exam from the second drop-down. Again, for schools, please note that when doing Improving Productivity for schools, use the one that says Schools. Lastly is the visibility of the key. This should always be set to Self only, as you, as the invigilator, will be present at the time of the exam to give out this key. When you're happy, click Save. You will now see this key in the list here, or under the Invigilator tab under your account name. Give this key to your candidates at the beginning of your test. The other thing you may need to do as an admin is to reset a user's password. To do this, click on the user's name or ID, go to the Info tab, click on where it says Shortlist and change this to Show All. Scroll down and check the number of login attempts and hit the spanner next to the box here. Then click Save. This will reset the number of login attempts that have been tried. If it's already 0, don't worry, but it's good practice to check, as this can lock them out even with the correct password. Now we need to reset the password. Scroll back up and put in a new password in the password box and the Confirm Password box. Then hit Save. The password has now been reset. Please make sure that the candidate updates their password to something only they know once they log in. Let's now take a look at what the candidates see when they log in and take a test. The candidates log in to the same web address as you, the admin, www.ecdluk.inlight.net, and follow the similar process of logging in. By default, their username is their BCS ID, and their password is your BCS centre number. The first time they log in, they will be asked to reset their password to something they will remember. Again, under no circumstances should anyone, including yourself as admin, log in as a candidate. Once they log in, they will be taken to the same news screen you see on the admin login. They also need to click Continue here. The next screen is very different, as it takes them to a list of their assignments. Here they click on the title of an assignment to go into the test or diagnostic. Let's take a look at a test now. Upon sitting an exam, they will be asked to enter the Invigilator key. You can also allow the student access by logging in with your Invigilator username and password, but really you should just be using a key to allow access. You are then taken to a Requirements check screen. Let this run and then click Continue. You will then face the exam start screen. Here it gives the user all of the details of the test itself, time limits and rules. Once the test has loaded, click Start. The test then starts and the candidates will be taken through all the questions. They just need to answer the questions. Click Answer. There is a flagging option on questions to mark unanswered questions. Candidates must be sure that when flagging a question, they only click Next and not Answer on the question. Any unanswered questions, flagged or not, will appear when the final question of the test has been taken. At the end of the test, results will not be shown if this is selected, but a student can go in to view their results at a later date by logging in and clicking View Results. The candidate can also immediately see if they passed or failed the exam on the exam itself. If a candidate has failed a unit, they do get the option to resit the unit. This has to be done 1 working day later, and the test environment needs to be set up again for them, and another test credit needs to be assigned to the candidate's Balance tab. Then to resit, the candidate just clicks the assignment title once more to resit the exam.